Welcome. This is your teacher, David Garcia, and today we're going to see the topic of conic sections, specifically parabola, and we're going to learn how to get from the general conic form of an equation to the vertex form of the equation. Now, in order to understand what we're going to do algebraically, let's move over here and let's see what the deal is. In here, I have a general form conic equation that is describing a parabola. In this case, this red parabola. Now, over here, what I have is the vertex form of the equation. Now, in this case, the values for A is 1, for H is 0, and for K is 0 as well. So what we have is a parabola with the vertex in the origin. So the idea is to modify these three values, the A, the H, and the K, in such a way that we can describe the same parabola that is being described as in the general conic form. So in this case, I already know that the A is negative 0.25, and this will move my parabola downwards. Now, the value for H in here is 9. So if you see, as the H is increasing its value, the parabola is moving to the right. So there it is. Right? And then the K will be negative 2. The moment that I start moving K, the parabola is moving downwards, and there it is. So now I have the values in the vertex form equation that generate exactly the same parabola as the one described in the general conic form. Now, how do we do this algebraically? How do we jump from one form to the other? And let's begin with the same example. The general form equation is x squared minus 18x 4y plus 89 equals 0. Now, the idea in here is to take all the terms that have the variable x and move them to the other side of the equation. And we're going to leave the variable y, the variable y and the number on this side of the equation. So we're going to have 4y plus 89 equals negative x squared plus 18x. Now, from here, we are going to factorize the coefficients that we have with the variables x. In this case, the coefficient is -1. So we're going to factor the -1 from both of them. And the other side of the equation, we're going to leave it alone so far. So we have -1 that multiplies x squared minus 18x. Now, the next step is to complete the trinome. And we're going to complete it as a perfect square, as a perfect square trinome. So we do that by taking this number right here, the -18, and we are going to divide it by 2. And then we're going to square it. And that number will be over here. So in this case, -18 divided by 2 is -9 squared is 81. Now, by adding this 81 to the equation, or to this side of the equation, we are modifying the equality. So that means that we have to do something on the other side as well. Now, this 81, if you see, is being modified by this -1. So in reality, what we are doing on the right side of the equation, that is in here, we are adding a -81. And what you do on one side, you have to do it on the other side. So you have -18, 81. So we perform this addition. So we have 4y plus 8 will equal -1 times x squared minus 18x plus 81. Now we can factor these parentheses right here. And we leave the other side alone for now. 4y plus 8 equals -1 that multiplies x minus 9 squared. What we have in here is what we had before. It's exactly the same thing, but it is factored. And now, as the idea is to have the y isolated, it's just a matter of moving the 8 to the other side. In this case, it is adding. It will go to the other side, subtracting. So we have 4y equals -1 times x minus 9 squared minus 8. And finally, this 4 that is multiplying the y will go to the other side, dividing everything. So we have that y will equal -1 that is multiplying the binomial squared divided by 4 will be -1/4. It's x minus 9 squared, and then 8 divided by 4 will be -2. And this is the answer that we got in our, there we go. This is the answer that we got in our graphing section. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in our next video.